last breath of summer is blowing down our necks, and soon we'll wave goodbye to the fleeting bliss, because you are like a tidal wave was ripping up my life and living without a trace. And you know that
我这个，很快的按键，就是全家都过远的是过来的了。你们有想到那个，这还那个接起来都好。
I am bright like a sun. You were my nova on the run, and I float in the wake of midnight to daybreak. Chill, frozen to the bone. You could always find your way back home to your little shelter from the storm. And if you're feeling left up by the weather, you could always wear your whole sweater. It was lying there the whole time. Trials, slips and setbacks. Somehow I wish we could wind back the clock back to those days before you got on that stupid plane. But when the winter chill Bridges to the bone, you can always find your way back home to a little shelter from the storm. And if you're feeling roughed up by the weather, you can always wear your cold sweater. It's been waiting here all this time. But when the winter chill bridges to the bone, you can always find your way back home to a little shelter from the storm. And if you're feeling roughed up by the weather, you can always wear your cold sweater. It's been waiting here all this time.
无啦，九九。
就在这里。
上面哦。
但我们先。
整天都在那边开冷气。
那个香蕉是什么蕉啊？怎么长得那么奇怪？脸那么大。
谢谢。 花枝哦。 でもまだまだ容量が悪い。もっと具体的に生産できる技術と商品があるはず。私はそれを見つけたい。
なんだ金が足らんのか。
いえ、なんでも。借金は結構です。失礼します。
私をいじめないでおくれ。いや、
数年前から言ってるけど、全然死なないじゃん。
それはその
昔は。
あくまでも男性と比べたら都合。
それで伝言って。
いやー、それにしてもご主人様には感服します。